That's pretty fresh. Yes. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening. This is Pretty Fresh with me, Mighty Motherfucking Muds. And today we have Tone One of Socialeyes. Producer, engineer, computer tech. Just an all-around nerdy type of dude. That's very artsy. He just does a lot of cool stuff. Does a lot of photography. Does a lot of cool shit. We find out in this episode all the stuff that he does and his whole story, how he became who he is now. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty fresh story. Of course, Pretty Fresh is brought to you by platformcollection.com. Go ahead and go to platformcollection.com and watch all the videos there. There's prose episodes that I've done. There's Bars Weekly that I do with Kali. There's a lot of stuff. There's photos. There's videos. There's other podcasts. I don't know if you know that. There's a lot of podcasts there. Crappy Awesome. Really though. Stereotypes. Proof of Life Radio. Status Escalade Podcast. Life on the Road with 60 East, the Orchestrated Podcast, Orchestrated Network, the 2Mix Hologram Radio Show, 2Mix Hologram Radio site. A lot of stuff there. You'll have a lot of fun if you just check it out. It's pretty fucking fantastic over there. I know I go there. I know I post there. If you want to read up on stuff, see all the past Pretty Freshes. Yeah, that made sense. We've had Viva Mezcal and Mad Max that have finally came back from their month-long tour. We just finished the show, the last show, the Welcome Back to LA show this past Friday. It was great. We had it at the Boulevard Bar right here in Boyle Heights, and it's packed. I couldn't make it from the beginning, but you know, I showed up around midnight, and I expected, I don't know, 20, 30 people there, because midnight's pretty late already, and it was packed. It was like it was packed. Like people inside, people outside, just chilling. I never seen it that packed before. Of course, Soul Providers rocked, and it was all dope, and it's great to feel that energy from a lot of people there. And finally, when East of the River got to rock and everything, it was like the full circle moment, because I saw them leaving literally the day when they got in the van and packing all the stuff, and then when they came back, it was a full circle thing. So I'm glad they're back, and welcome home, East of the River. Yeah, today we have Tone One of Socialeyes. It's gonna be a fun conversation we had. I went over to his house. He was gonna fix my computer because he's a computer tech wizard of sorts. And it turned out that the graphics card, was just loose. All he had to do was just push it in, and it worked fine. Now I could use all this RAM, all this technical stuff that I had no idea I could use, but now I do. So thank you to Tone One. All right, let's wrap this motherfucker up. Thanks for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks, thank you for listening to Pretty Fresh. It's fucking nice. It's a good episode. Have fun. This is Tone One. You're using your rig today, your stuff today. I feel a little like,
Do you want to sit in my spot?
I mean, nah.
So you feel like you're in control?
No. I'm happy on the floor. I just, I want to create that atmosphere, and we're doing it. We're trying. I'm trying. Anyway, we have.
This is Tone One. Freddie.
Tone One. Tone. How are you?
I'm very good.
I like this. I like your voice. You never speak as much as I hope you would, but today you're gonna.
I'm not a big fan. I have a lisp. So.
Do you really? I didn't know that.
At times, yeah, I hear.
Holy
lisp.
fuck! I never knew that. That's so weird. Oh, now I'm just gonna analyze your voice now. now I
Man,
gotta,
that sucks, dude.
now I just gotta see now. No, dude, you're fucking amazing. Your beats are fucking impeccable.
Oh, thanks, man.
Immaculate.
That means a lot.
we let's see. The first time I saw your face was Black Books and Rhyme Books. I think you were either performing or you were gonna perform or you had just performed, and I think I had missed it or I didn't see it.
I recall. I think I took pictures of you guys.
Yeah,
right there.
you. I remember the photos, and then later on, we were tagged in them, and then I saw your page and I saw your face, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't really put two and two together. Later on, I saw Socialeyes name, and I was like, okay, that's where they're from. And then later on, I saw the names on the flyers and a bunch of stuff. Later on. And it just became that whole thing, where I see you a lot, and then I was like, well, we're on the same flyers and stuff. Why don't we just be friends?
Yeah. I was praying for a couple weeks. You were funny enough to approach. It worked out.
I don't know how exactly we went up to each other. I'm pretty sure it was internet wise we talked to each other first.
Yeah, that's how most relationships start nowadays. So.
And then
it was like the tag photo, and then a little couple likes. And it's like, oh, damn, they're paying attention, and then a follow back.
Yeah, that's how it felt. I mean, that's how it, that's how life is nowadays. But no, I was very curious. It feels like it's like an alternate universe, and another group is also coming up the same time we're kind of coming up, and it feels like, oh, you're doing that, I'm doing that. Like we have that type of bond where we kind of you have the same shows, I have the same show. We would see each other a lot, and it was just like one of those things.
Yeah. The Black Books and Rhyme Books events are always awesome. Those are my favorite too. I feel like everybody there is always the friendliest. Like Beardo picks like the friendliest artists, people that are like real people and genuine. And I feel like that day, like I really fell in love with you guys' music, and Vile was dope as hell. And I think I heard of you
really
guys.
Good.
I think I heard of you guys like a month prior, but I don't think I ever like sat down and listened to the music. So it was good that I heard it live first. So I was impressed.
The way you just described it is ideal for anybody, I guess, any performer or any artist, right? That you would you perform at the show, and then someone's like so moved by what we're doing that you have to be like, I gotta find out, I gotta fucking know their name so I can look it up later. And
and that's happened to me like when I go to shows to see like a famous performer, like the head. I'm there to see the headliner, but then the opening acts are dope. For example, when I was like 17 or 16, I went to go see People Under the Stairs, and Blue Scholars opened, and I fell in love with Blue Scholars, and Common Market performed right after them, and they were both super sick hip hop.
When was that?
This was a long time ago. I was still in high school at the Glass House.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. What was your first show that you remember?
Hip hop show?
Yeah, first hip hop show.
I think it was a Hyro show at the Glass House.
Holy fuck.
Because I started going like punk shows and stuff. I was into punk and metal, so I already went to the Glass House. So I was familiar. So I think I chose it because I was familiar with the venue. So I think it was Hyro, but Del the Funky Homo Sapien wasn't there, so I was really disappointed. And then the second show I went to was Jedi Mind Tricks.
That Del thing was it's not the first time that's happened to me. That's happened at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Where I go see Hyro and then he's not there, and it's just like
but
it's gonna be good, but it's like it's just a piece missing.
Yeah, but he made up for it because I think I saw him 3 times after that, and they were all free. Like I saw him at a
by himself.
Yeah, at a USC event. And some other places, like, and I'm pretty sure it was all free. Oh yeah, and I saw him at a Cal Poly Pomona for free. It was crazy, and this like, who was that group? Like Gemini something. Sage the Gemini was the headliner,
right?
Which is really weird.
It's it sounds weird. That's fucking cool though. You got to see Del.
Yeah.
You got to see Hyro. So those were your first ones. So you were into punk before this?
Yeah.
Was that your first thing that you kind of got into, or what was your first?
Yeah, when I was in
genre.
When I was in elementary school, I was always into music. I just didn't know what. And my parents were really strict. Like, they didn't want me to listen to anything on the radio. They're, like, ultra religious. Not anymore. My mom doesn't care anymore, but that's how it was. So the way I got my music was when they went to work and we were home alone, me and my sister, we would, like, make tapes off the radio, like Linkin Park, System of a Down, stuff like that. So I started with that, and then my sister introduced me to, like, the Misfits because she was a little older. Her friends were into it. And then, like, I went into middle school, and I was like, a 6th grader wearing a Misfits tee. And I was approached by this guy, and he was like, why do you listen to punk? You should listen to metal. And I was like, what? And he introduced me to a bunch of metal bands. So I got into metal, and I was like, strictly, I hated hip hop. Like, I never wanted to listen to it because I just thought it was
those metal kids.
I thought it was trash. Well, it was more punk still, but like I loved punk. That was my everything, and I listened to I only listened to Biggie and Tupac because they had content and I liked it, but I never knew anybody else. Like everything else was like just stuff on the radio, so I thought it was all trash. And then I don't know how I got into hip hop exactly. But I just started downloading music one summer with my friend. Like we had a list of music that we would download from SoulSeek. I don't know if you guys ever heard of SoulSeek. Instead of LimeWire, we use SoulSeek so we didn't get viruses.
SoulSeek, you said?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a file exchange thing. Oh, it's crazy.
There was another one before LimeWire. I just forgot that one. I don't know if there's another one. I just know there's another one. I used that one, but I never used that one. That's crazy.
Well, we would use I think it was like this radio thing, and they would play different artists. So when we would run across an artist we really enjoyed, we would write it down, and then we would spend days downloading it. Because I had 56K internet, it was trash. So it would take like 3 hours to download an album. So we would have like a collection of music we would just go through. So that's how I got into hip hop. I think was just like trying to find new music because we were tired of listening to Misfits and like GBH and Casualties. We just wanted to get into different stuff, and we ran into like Immortal Technique, which is really relatable if you're if you're into punk.
The whole LimeWire and all those like the sharing the torrent sites or whatever, that seems very hip hop based. It doesn't really seem like metal or punk or anything.
Right.
It just seems very like you'll find like the rare hip hop shit, but I never thought about punk or any of that stuff that being on there as well.
Okay, I just remembered how I got into hip hop. So, summer after 8th grade, one of my friends wanted me to start smoking weed.
What year was this?
This was summer after 8th grade, so I was going into 9th grade. I'm not sure the year. It was probably 2006. And he told me to come over to this guy's house, and they were called Connor and Cameron. They were twins, and like their house was just known for people to go over there and smoke. His parents were chill, and we were in high school, so it was crazy. It was a crazy house, in like over here where I live in Monrovia. And so he invited me over, and then I just walk into this room, and like there's like 10 people, and they're all just listening to hip hop and drawing, and there's smoke in the air, and I was just like blown away. And I sat down on the speaker, like he had a subwoofer in there, and I sat down on it. And I think they were playing Hyro, if I'm not mistaken, like hieroglyphics. And I think that was the moment that I fell in love with hip hop. I think that's the exact same moment. And I fell in love with graffiti at the exact same time because everybody there they were artists. So I fell in love with graffiti and hip hop like in the same day. And that's exactly how it happened. Now that I remember,
that's cool that you remember the exact pinpoint moment that you remember that.
And then that summer, I spent like every day going to that house and just smoking and hearing new music. And there was this guy named Juan. And his brother was older, and he had like this knowledge of hip hop, and he introduced me to Beat Junkies. One day he was playing this music out of his MP3, and he played this Beat Junkies song, or it was on a Beat Junkies tape. It's called Dynamic by Pumpkinhead, and I heard it, and he left, and I never asked him for the name of the track, and I didn't see him for a month, and it was driving me insane on how badly I wanted to listen to this song again. And I couldn't think of the lyrics. I couldn't think of like how to find it on the internet. Like back then, the internet wasn't as vast as it is now. You type in some lyrics and you could find the track. Back then, it wasn't like that. But this song, I don't know if you guys ever listened to it. It's called Dynamic by Pumpkinhead. Rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago. But that's what really attracted me to hip hop, is that there were sounds that were so captivating that I was dying to hear it again. And I couldn't wait. I was going to this guy's house every day, like waiting for this guy Juan to come back, and he just never did. And finally, he came back, and I was like, "What's this song?" And he knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, it was crazy.
Just fucking bombard him with what's this song? That's crazy. Like, yeah, you still know it. That's tight.
Yeah, and I still thank that guy to this day. I ran into him, and I thanked him for showing me like real hip hop.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what assumes your whole life now.
Yeah, it's my whole life.
I mean, I'm looking around your room. It's just, I see it.
Yeah,
this is hip hop, so it's tight. That's crazy that you found that, 6th or 8th grade, 9th grade. That's around most people. That's around where they also try to, I guess, find it. I don't know why. I don't know what's with that age and with that grade that a lot of people find.
I think it has to do with the understanding of the English language, because I think hip hop, if you listen to it, it just sounds like people just saying words if you're younger, and it doesn't make sense to you. But once you understand the English language and you listen to music that really means something, you understand it because you're a young adult, you get to understand more things, and I think that's probably why. I would assume punk is just people screaming, Punk music is just people like saying their like just their basic emotions.
That's around that time too, that you know, the rebellious adolescence that you want to do.
Yeah,
that's around that punk. Around that age is where you do that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So that fits well too. But anything older than like 17 and shit like that, it's I don't know. It sounds foreign to me, I guess. Like listening, I do listen to punk and stuff, but like listening to metal and like that type of genre and shit like that, like very hardcore stuff. It sounds odd because it's different to me. Because I always after 8th grade, I started just strictly listening to hip hop and I never looked back. So I don't know. It sounds weird.
Yeah, and now I can't listen to punk or metal anymore. It drives me insane because I feel like it all sounds the same.
Because you're so hip hop that it just sounds
Yeah, now it's strictly hip hop.
I get it.
Only
totally understand this. I think also in 8th grade. My brother used a family computer. It was like this big ass fucking box computer. He used it and he was putting music on fucking something like a CD or some shit. I forgot what. And then he left one song. On the computer. I think it was on iTunes or whatever back when it was super new. He left one song on there, and like for the whole time that I was using the computer, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to this song. Like I'm not gonna listen to it. He did it purposely so I could listen to it, and then I never heard it, and then I never heard it, and then I was listening to something, and the next song was that song, the one that he left on there. And it was Living Legends, Angels with Dirty Faces.
Whoa.
And I heard it, and I was like, fuck, it's great.
Did it have that red album cover?
Like, no, I have no... I don't know. I don't know if it had the cover on it, but it was playing the song, and then I was like, fuck, it's good. And I rewind, I played it. And at the time, you see the play count. It was like 96, like just that day alone. It was like, I don't know. I heard it, and, I just couldn't stop hearing it. And got a shuffle. I got iPod shuffle that year, and then I told my brother to put all the music in it. And he gave me like like gems like Tribe and De La Soul and Atmosphere and like just a bunch of like cool rare shit that not many people fucking ever heard of.
That's pretty crazy. I wish I had an older sibling to pass down music. My sister, I mean she's older, but she got into like reggaeton and I hated that. So she couldn't really pass that down.
Oh shit.
I wasn't open to that.
It sucks. Yeah, most some people have those older siblings that they hand down the music taste or whatever. I don't know. I guess subconsciously my brother did that, but
he was looking out.
Yeah, like I don't know if he was though. I don't know if he did it like, oh, I'll just leave it. Just maybe he'll listen to it, or like he was even thinking like, oh, I'll just leave it because I don't give a fuck and I don't care about making space in the computer or whatever. I don't know what he did, but I heard it and that was pretty much it.
That's pretty cool.
That's how life is. And he shaped my life how it is now. I mean, he was doing graph and stuff like that, and like that was kind of. I mean, eventually I probably would have found out, but that's the way I found out.
Did you ever do graffiti?
Oh hell yeah!
Did you ever get in trouble?
No,
I did.
Okay, well that's how you got. Was that how you got the name or no?
No, my first name was.
What was your graph name?
Shit, man. Can't remember. I think it was.
My first one is Blaze.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I know. I know. I think I told you that.
Yeah, I think you did.
My first one was Blaze. I had it for like I don't know, like a week, and then
I think my first graph name was Theory, which was really lame. It was really long, but I always liked the letter T. And then I went to Tone.
From Theory, you went to Tone.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And me and my friend Maximo, he went by the name Amos.
Did someone give it to you, or did you gave it to yourself?
I think he might have. My friend Maximo gave it to me.
You should be Tone.
Yeah, and then we just destroyed Monrovia for like 2 years.
God damn.
And we really did, because the city's it's really middle class, I would say. There's not really a ghetto here. I wouldn't say we live in the ghetto. It's a really nice city.
It sounds nice, like a nice city.
But we destroyed it. Like we fucked it up. And I'm not kidding. Like we really did. And
like with what? What are you talking about?
We went painting like a lot, like constantly, and like my friend Maximo was actually a lot more into it. He got some crazy spots, like the city is so uptight that one day we went out to paint at 4 a.m, and it was like a really nice spot. You could see it from Main Street, and we went back at 9 to take a picture, and it was already gone.
What?
And we were so sad. But yeah, we got into graffiti pretty hard, and we both got a ticket. I got a ticket for evading the police. Actually, it wasn't a graffiti ticket, but I had 2 cans in my pants.
Did you actually evade the police? Like out of that whole
Okay,
story
so
happened?
me and my friend were gonna go paint some trains that were stopped on the train tracks down here. And he told me, let's go paint. I was like, nah, we shouldn't go. He's like, let's go paint. And I was like, nah, dude, like, it's not a good night. And he's like, come on, there's these trains that just been there for like 2 days. We should go paint them before they leave. And I was like, all right. And we just freshly bought cans, so we both took 2 cans and we put them in our pants. And we were walking down towards the train station, and it's kind of like you're walking towards the Walmart.
Slow.
And we're walking slowly, and then my friend hits a sign and says, we should paint this. And we just kept walking. And an undercover cop pulls up right behind us like 3 seconds later. Wow. No joke.
You were on the train tracks? Or
no, we were just walking down the street.
On the main street.
But we were underage, and it was past curfew. So that's one of the reasons.
Is there really a what's curfew? Like it was
10.
Like 10 or 11?
It was past 11 at this time.
Oh shit.
And we were 16. So he stops us and he asks us our age.
That's why it was 16. Okay.
My friend's like, I'm 16 and I was 15 at the time. And the officer asked me to sit down on the sidewalk, and he's searching my friend, and my friend's looking directly at me while I'm sitting on the sidewalk. He's looking down at me, and I'm mouthing to him, dude, I'm going to dip. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. And I just wanted him to tell me yes. And as soon as he nodded his head yes, I stood up and just ran. Because I had 2 cans on me, and I had, like, weed, and I just didn't want to get in trouble, right? And I just ran home, and I made it home.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, and then, like, they didn't chase me or anything, I don't think. I got rid of the cans on the way when I was running. I got home, and I was just, like, breathing so hard. My adrenaline was rushing. Like,
how far were you?
I was probably, like, a mile away.
Okay.
And, like, I got inside my house, and...
Like, base!
Yeah, I was safe, but, my walls are white, right? Like, the walls in my house, but they were flashing colors. And, like that's how intense that moment was. Like, I was tripping out.
Oh, okay.
So then I fall asleep, right? And I get a phone call at 7 a.m. from my friend, and I was like, "Hey, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, the cops came. I got in trouble." And my dad came pick me up, and I was like, "Damn, dude, that fucking sucks." And he's like, "Hey, but you're caught too." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "My dad ratted you out."
Oh, that's fucking whack. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. So then that morning I was like, oh my god,
that sucks. Come on.
Yeah, it was terrible. So
the whole time you were telling the story, I was like, how the fuck did they find out? That sucks. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I was scared to go to school because I was assuming that the police were going to be there waiting for me. So I didn't go to the school one day. The cops weren't there. My friend said no one was there. And the next day I went. Nothing happened. I was still kind of scared. I was stressing out about it. The third day, my mom's at work overnight. You know, my mom's a single mother. So me and my brother were just home alone. And I was upstairs, and I get a knock at the window. I get a knock at the door, and I look out my window, and I get a flashlight straight to my face. Right? Straight to my face. And
it was in the night?
It was like at 8 p.m. It was like, yeah.
Shit.
And my brother was downstairs watching TV, so I opened the door, and my brother was like probably 9 or 10 at this time. So I opened the door, and these 2 police officers, my brother's panicking, and I just closed the door and go talk to him. And they call my mom right then and there. Right? My mom didn't pick up, but they left a voicemail saying what happened. Right?
Yeah.
It's terrible. So my mom's at work, and she gets a voicemail from a police officer telling her the whole story, and my mom calls me back, not yelling, not mad.
Oh, wow.
It's just, what happened, mijo? Why'd you do that? And it just broke my heart.
Oh,
and I was
Jesus.
like, fuck. And like, I had a graph ticket before that too. But this one was
worse. This was worse.
This one was worse because it was considered a felony because it was evading.
Oh, okay. That's
but
whack.
I got really, really lucky and never went to court. I never had to pay anything. I just had to do 60 hours of community service, and the ticket was never processed.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. I never had a felony on my. I mean, I was underage. It would have been gone by now. Yeah. But it never went. I never went to court for it.
Oh my
I don't know how that happened, but they sent me to talk to this guy, and he yelled at me and my mom for like 30 minutes, and he made my mom cry, and then I think that was the punishment. It was really bad. He was like a district attorney or something, and he just yelled at us and made us feel really bad. He said I was going to juvie, and then called us back, and then said that I had to do community service, and that was it. And then I never, Like, I still do graffiti. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I catch tags because I carry a streak or
Good. Yeah.
or like a scribe. But like, I've never gone back out to paint or anything like that from that day on. Just because I never wanted to disappoint my mom like that ever again.
Right.
It was the worst. So that was the purpose, because if they would have searched me, they would have found weed.
Yeah, they would have found it,
and they would have found cans.
Oh, that's oh man. I guess you kind of did look out, but fuck. All right.
I looked out because it didn't go to court, but it was worse because it was a felony.
Right.
But
damn,
the universe was looking out for me that day.
Yeah, it was like a little like, hey, quit fucking up.
Yeah,
that's fucking insane, man. That's a sick ass story. Jesus.
Yeah, but I still love graffiti. If I'm driving, I'm looking around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that ever like goes away.
Yeah,
that type of feeling when you look around and see or catch spots. Oh, how the fuck did he get there?
Yeah,
I remember this one time. My dad was like, we were driving down Alameda, and like my dad was like, we were at a red light, and he was like, how do you think that guy got that spot? And I was like, oh, well, he did that, and then he jumped there, and then he climbed this, and then that's it. And he was like, he looked at me like, how the fuck do you know? I was like, oh, well. I'm sorry. Me and my older brother kind of did that stuff. So, like, I don't think we ever talked about it like that. But like, I know he did it, and then I think he knew that I did it. So it was like a mutual thing.
But you never got in trouble.
No, I don't think so. I mean, no, I didn't ever get in trouble with the cops. The only one time that I got in trouble with the cops was okay, well, so it was my first day of work. I was 18, I think. It was my first day of work, and me and Vile were supposed to go to fucking Alameda and something. It was like a place where they package burritos. I know. So we had to go there. So we had to take the bus there, and we had to be there by like 7 a.m. So we got up like at 5. So what Vile was doing from like midnight to like 5 or 4 or whatever, he stayed up and he just drank all day, all night. He was drinking with his homie, and they were like, oh, let's go around Tweety and fucking paint. So that's what they did. They had like 2 cans and they were painting, and they were just catching tags all over. They saw a cop, and then they fucking hid or booked it somewhere, I don't know where. And I woke up around 5:30 or something. And I texted him. I was like, "Hey, like, where are you?" He didn't respond, and I was like, "Fuck, like we gotta go. Like we gotta go to work." And then I was like, "All right." I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just walk because we have to be at the bus stop." And I texted him again. I was like, "Hey, where are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm over here because the cops came, and they were gonna catch us and stuff, and they were, they were trying to find us, but we we ditched the cans and all this other shit, and like we had paint on our hands, and we wiped it off and all this whatever, right? All this shit, and I was just like, whatever, all right, we gotta go. And then like I was walking down the main street, and finally I met up with Vile. I was like, oh good, like you're alive. You smell like beer, but fuck it. And we were walking. We were like maybe 4 blocks away from the bus stop that we had to be, and we were walking, and then we see the cops, and the cops stop us. And I'm looking at the cops like, what the fuck? Like, we gotta go. Like, we have like 30 minutes to catch this bus. And the cops like stop us, and he was like, yeah, it was you, huh? And he was pointing at Vi. He was like, I know it was you because you had that shirt on. I remember, and we were trying to find you, and this must be the other guy. And he thought I was the other guy that he was with. So he stopped us. He put us in handcuffs, and he put us on the floor. And then he was like, oh, I know it was you. And he looked at my shorts, and I was in art school. So I had like art school like pants. So I had paint on my pants. And it wasn't like aerosol paint or whatever.
You got caught red panted.
It was acrylic paint. And I guess the color that they were painting with was one little dot, like little dot on my pants. And he was like, see, that's the color. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, I just woke up. Like, I did not. I wasn't up fucking painting all night. And then he was like, no, I was you. And he fucking took a picture of us. And he was like, eventually he let us go. But it felt so like that was the first time that I was ever with like cops. And it just, they didn't believe me. And I was telling the truth. And it just felt so weird.
But you didn't get a ticket.
No, I didn't get a ticket. That was the only time that I like was ever with police. And that was, they didn't believe me when I was telling the truth. And it just, like, it left a sour taste in my mouth. It was just one of those things. It was just like.
But did you make it to work?
Late, yeah. We got to work like around 8:30, I think.
Whoa.
Because if we missed one bus, then we were fucked for like 30, 40 minutes. So we missed, that was it. I mean, we got to work on, like, not on time, but we got to work.
They still let you wrap those burritos.
Yeah, exactly. They still let us wrap those burritos. All right, so Tone, you are from here? You lived here all your life?
Monrovia, no.
Monrovia.
I grew up in Montebello.
Okay.
And I went to school in East LA. I went to Eastmont.
Oh shit! All right. You look like a Monrovian. That's why.
Yeah, I love the city now. I've been living here since I was like 12, and I love the city. It's really small, and it's filled with a lot of rich people, but there's also a really strong community of kids that are artists. Like there's this band that came out of Monrovia called Jurassic Shark. They're pretty big. They get like reviewed by LA Weekly all the time. Like I shot for their show. I did some photography for the show at the Smell. They played there a bunch of times. They do like residencies at different venues. There's a bunch of other people that that are just artists that came out of here, like tattoo artists and stuff. And like the skate culture is still really big. There's a skate shop right up the street. We have a really nice skate park. And I hated the city when I first moved here because I did come from like a ghetto city in a way. Like Montebello was filled with Hispanic people, which are my people. So I felt more at home. So when I moved to Monrovia, I was kind of thrown off. But I found my niche with people here with just hip hop and stuff, and I mean, there's a bunch of Hispanic people here that's most of the people I hang out with just because we relate more. But yeah.
What year did you move here?
I think it was 2005. Wait.
Also around it's what 6th, 7th grade?
No, that's wrong. 2003.
Okay, so you were relative.
I was like 11.
Middle school, you were around here already, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You molded your friends already, I guess, to the point,
Yeah, one weird thing that happened when I moved here is that in Montebello, 5th grade is considered middle school. So I was in middle school already.
Oh, okay.
So I graduated elementary school at 4th grade. I did the culmination or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
The little ceremony. And then I was in 5th grade, so I was a middle schooler, and I was, felt like I was growing up. And then we decided to move to Monrovia, and I had to go back to elementary school. It was so weird. And I had to graduate again. It was weird.
How were you in class? How were you as a student?
I would say I was super shy. I've always been a shy person, and
you're one of those guys where if you're shy at first, but once you get to know him, you know
exactly.
you're a good dude.
So I would always get good grades, but I would always be playing like my Game Boy behind the desk because our 5th grade teacher was this really overweight lady, and she would just never get up. So I would play game.
I was about to ask you that. I was like, did she ever get up or?
No, she never really did. So I just played Game Boy all day, and I did my homework, and that's how I got past 5th grade. And then, in middle school, I kind of started screwing up because I got into band. I was in band, and I just wanted to focus on music. It sounds kind of lame. I was in.
No, it sounds fucking tight.
And like in marching band and shit. And I played percussion.
Yeah.
And I was in the drum line, and that was my only focus. And then when I got to high school, my only focus was music again. Like I didn't want to do work, so I just ended up going to a continuation high school where they kind of let you do whatever you want at your own pace. And I graduated 6 months early. So
it wasn't like a regular public high school, or what are you talking about?
It was like it's where they send the bad kids, right? So I wasn't a bad kid. I went there out of choice because I didn't want to go to an overpopulated school. It was just a bunch of people I hated.
What was it called? What was the school called?
It was called Canyon Oaks High School, and the teachers there were life changing. Like no joke. Like
Did they give you packets or what? How does that work?
No, it was like class. You would go every day, but they would really help you. Like if you had any kind of trouble, like I hated math, right? I learned algebra by the time I got out of there. It's just their teaching process was a lot different. My first class
was more hands on.
Yeah, and it was a lot smaller classes. My first class started at 9 a.m. I didn't have to get up early. I had 3 classes a day, and it was a lot faster. It was faster paced too, so you got your credits done a lot faster. I mean, it was kind of like cheating your way out of high school, to be honest with you. It really was.
You just said fuck it. Why'd you say fuck it?
Well, the thing is, like,
why'd you say fuck it to the actual high school and went to that one?
This is the reason why, because the continuation school was for people that are, not to be mean, but that are kind of dumb, that don't really like learning. Maybe people that have like ADHD, that have like mental issues. To be honest with you, I went there out of choice because I didn't want to focus on high school. I wanted to focus on music. I was already producing. I was already like trying to get into recording and stuff. And I was in a jazz band. I was in a punk band, or like a progressive band.
Drummer?
I was a drummer.
Yeah.
So like school didn't matter to me.
Usually drummers like are better producers. That's pretty,
yeah.
Keep the beat, the melody, and all this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Go ahead.
But yeah, that was the reason why. So, but it was a really good experience. That's where I went. My friend Maximo went there, so that's where we became best friends, and we got into music and hip hop and graffiti and art and stuff. So it was one of the best decisions I ever made as an adolescent, because my mom let me do it, but it was my personal choice. My choice was I don't want to go to this school because it's filled with people I don't like. That was the real reason.
Did you actually have a graduation or no?
Yeah, we did. It was really nice.
Oh, nice.
It was good. It was, there's like teachers were crying because the teachers really get to know you.
Yeah, it's so small and gets personal.
Yeah, and like our teachers would tell us stories of of the shit they went through when they were in high school, and it made us feel, like we belonged, because I feel like the kids that went there were different. They weren't dumb necessarily. They weren't stupid, because a couple of my friends that I'm still friends with now went there, and it was mostly because they were artistic people that didn't care about school, and that was just the truth of it. So the teachers there already knew that. They knew that we were creatives, and they let us draw. They let us use the video cameras to make videos and do what we wanted. So it was like a way of cheating through high school. That's kind of the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good choice though.
Yeah, my fucking high school. I knew what I wanted to do pretty fucking early on in my high school life, and I would ask for those electives. Those can I get the graphic designing class? And they would say no. Oh, can I get the photography class? And they would say no. And it's like finally in senior year, I lucked out and I got film class, which was like my favorite class. And like I don't give a fuck about any other class. I was working on that one, and like I lucked out again because like the group that I was in, it was like a 4-person group. I was the only guy. The other 3 girls were the other 3 girls were freshmen, so they lucked out because I have fucking no clue. Because you're not supposed to get electives until like junior and like senior year.
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't want to do any of the work. So I ended up doing like the audio, the editing, the filming, and the directing like every week instead of switching off from filming and then directing the next week and then audio the next week. So I was doing all of them all at once. So the whole like 4 months or however many months you had in that semester, like I was doing all of them every week. So I got to learn all that shit very, very quickly.
Wow.
I wish I would have had a fucking photo or graphic designing, because like, you know, it would have made me a little bit better.
I took a photo class when I was in high school, but it was like film, so we made our own film cameras and we developed our pictures in a dark room. It was really awesome.
They had the same shit over there too, but I don't know. I wish I would have had that. That would be great. If only the counselors would have, you know, listened. I don't know, maybe people wanted to get an easy class, or like maybe like not work that hard, but genuinely I just wanted that class because I knew what I wanted to do. So what was your first realization that you wanted to make beats? Was it the whole drumming thing?
No. The way it started was that, this is really weird, but I live in a 2-story apartment with my mom.
Apartment? Fuck you. No,
well, it's like a house, yeah, but we rent it. And my mom was always at work. She's a single mom. She was always at work. So my house was kind of like a, you know, chill house. And my friends would come over. We would smoke weed and sometimes drink beer if we were able to get it.
Do you still smoke weed here?
I do, and my mom's still not aware of it.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not. She wouldn't care. I don't think at this point. But it's not something we talk about. I think it's like she turns a blind eye type of thing. You know,
right.
Because she knows I'm a good kid, and she just, you know, she'd just rather not know, type of thing.
Okay, go ahead.
But so I had people coming over here all the time, and then one friend, his name is Roger. I can't remember his name. Maldonado, that's his last name. Roger. He came over and he was like, "Hey man, why don't you download Fruity Loops?" And I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, you can make beats." And I was like, "What? You can make beats?"
You were already heavy into hip hop, right?
Yeah, I was already into hip hop, but this was at a point in my life where we moved from a different apartment in Monrovia to the place where I'm at now. And in the place where I lived, I was able to play drums whenever I wanted for as long as I wanted.
Okay.
When I moved here, as soon as they heard any sound, they would call the police. Like, no joke.
That's so weird, because it, like, right here, it looks like you would get away with a lot of, you know, where we're at now, it looks like you would get away with a lot.
I think now my neighbors are more chill. It was a little bit of a sensitive situation, why they didn't want a lot of noise. So I respected it. I didn't play drums, but I didn't play drums for like 2 years. So it kind of made me sad that I wasn't.
Do you have a drum set?
I do. It's in my garage. I have an electric drum set too.
Nice.
But it made me sad that I wasn't able to make any kind of music, or I was able to make music. Like, I would go to my friend's house, but I wouldn't be able to progress. You know, I wouldn't be able to practice or try new things or just mess around. You know, because we would always be working on music at my friend's house when we were practicing and making new songs.
What kind of music?
It was like progressive metal, I guess. It was like melodic and stuff.
Okay.
It was just an instrumental band too.
Yeah.
So it kind of depressed me. And then, so when Roger said you can make beats on your computer, it blew my mind. I was like, you can make music with with your headphones on. You don't have to be loud. Like, I had no idea. Like, digital music. I listen to hip hop.
Yeah, it sounds pretty perfect for you.
Yeah. So I listen to hip hop, but I never really put thought into how it was made. Like, I kind of knew, but you know, I was kind of naive, and I kind of thought it was like live bands, and you know, that's how it was made. And then I realized that, you know, there's EDM and people make electronic music and they sample, and you know, and within this day I was just like mind blown. And we were trying to make a beat, and like Fruity Loops is a really difficult program for me to learn.
It was just laptop, right? That's how you were trying to make the beat?
Yeah, it was just a laptop. I had no hardware or anything. But we ended up making something, like just something like stupid sounding, I'm sure. And then from that day on, I just started doing research, and I got Sony, what's that program called? Like Acid Pro, and I started making beats on there. And then I got Reason, which is where I got really good at making beats, where like making beats out of scratch, because I didn't use samples back then. And then I discovered sampling, and then that's how it started. But yeah, that guy Rogers is the guy that introduced me to production. And I like, he's come over, and I thanked him, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have started at an early age, because I think I was 16 when I first started producing.
bother, would you bother at all? On the edge and I'm willing to fall. This is life, it's appealing to y'all, but I ain't so sure that I'm meant to be on earth. Time is ticking, it's unfortunate, yo. I ain't really been moving like you forced me to slow. Trying to progress, it's important to know. Damn, I deserve an Oscar, man, or could he just go blam? Shit gets serious, sometimes I'm curious. How could you take a life that sounds delirious? Even hearing this news got me furious. How the fuck can you choose who gets to live in this world? Standing on a sinking ship, cannot even think of it. Praying for the innocent, while just staying diligent. Man, it's been my mission to win and show you the sinning could lead to getting ambition. I'm wishing it wasn't you. Sitting and wishing this shit just really wasn't true. Some things could happen, but man, what would you really do? The homie took some bullets for helping this on me do. How can I explain this inside a picture? Why you gotta go so early on the road, so pretty picked to go, no hurry, now you know. Why you gotta go so early on the road, so pretty picked to go, no hurry, now you know. Why you gotta go so early on the road, so pretty picked to go, no hurry, now you know. Why you gotta go so early on the road, so pretty picked to go, no hurry, now you know. No worries.
And then shortly after, I made a hip hop group called. We never made anything, but we were called Future Primitives with this guy named Creds or Nueve Uno. We made a few songs, and we were like 17. They were trash. And then I made a group called Local Business after high school, shortly after high school, with a friend, and this girl was seen at the time. And we played a few shows. People liked us, and then that relationship kind of went sour. And then I started making music with this guy named Shy Kevin, which I made music with him for like maybe 3 years. But it wasn't a good time in my life. We didn't really progress in like musically, and he was kind of a person that wasn't outgoing. So we kind of just like stayed in the same mode. Like we were just sitting here making like depressing music, like depressing beats, and that was the thing. So it just kind of kept me going because I was making music, but it wasn't the sound I wanted at all. But we were still like trying to get into the hip hop scene, trying to play shows, and we played a few like open mics and stuff like that. But I knew that we weren't good. Like I liked my beats, but I didn't like his rapping all that much. But we just kept it going because it was good. For the age and for the time, it was good. But I knew I wanted to do more, and I was always looking for other MCs, and I was always trying to make better beats. And one day I was...
So that just fizzled out, or what happened?
Well, it kind of fizzled out.
It fizzled out, and then you found someone?
Yeah. Well, I could get deeper to the story because it's kind of deep. I got hired to DJ at the skate shop.
Is that where that photo's from?
Yeah, that photo right there. Yeah, that's
about it.
That was like 3 years ago. 2 years ago, maybe.
Nice.
And I think I got paid actually to DJ. It was really fun. I brought records. Like I was only spinning records. Had 2 turntables, and I was drinking, and my girlfriend made vegan cookies and stuff, and people loved them. It was tight. And then so I started playing beats and stuff, like just because I had some instrumental albums. And then Shy Kevin was outside, and he met this guy named Nathaniel Blaze, and that's his real name, by the way. His middle name is Blaze. He met him, and they were just freestyling. And then after the DJing thing, after the show, it was an art show, by the way. It was an art show for my friends. So there was like art, photography, and stuff. I think I had some photography up at the time. And he brought in this kid. He's like, oh, I met this kid outside, and he raps, and he's really good. I was freestyling with him, and then I think that the next week he came over to my house, and I think we made a song that day. We made a song, and I think we shot a video the same day, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we were just that happy that we found someone that kind of gave our music new life, because he was way younger than us. I think he was 17, and we were 19. And like he was really enthusiastic about music. He was writing for a long time. So we started making music together, and we started a group called Socialeyes. So we were 3 people when we first started. So it was Nathaniel Blaze, Shy Kevin, and myself. And we played shows, and we made an album together. We made an EP, and Shy Kevin found a different route. I guess he found God.
Oh wow, that was all right.
Yeah. So this happened when we were almost done with our album.
Yeah.
So I have like 10 tracks that features all of us that
okay.
that we're never going to release because that guy's no longer with us. But he went on a retreat with his brother, and he didn't hit us up for like 3 weeks afterwards, and we were kind of wondering, and he just kind of quit. And it was really fucked up, to be honest with you, because we were almost done with the album. We're working really hard, and he left saying that he was gonna come back with like a new spirit, and he was gonna be like really enthusiastic about writing, and he was gonna write new stuff, and he was just gonna practice. And
Psych.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
So we were kind of like, I was kind of I understood where he was coming from, but I was still mad, as in like we were, from the point of view as in we put in like so much time into this album, in the concept of the album, and you just pull out last minute. So, I was mad, but me and Nate just kept pushing it. Like the next day I was literally like, Nate, I told Nate, I was like, fuck it, dude. It's just us. Like this was meant to happen, because he was holding us back. Not to be fucked up. I'm sure he understands.
When was this?
This was a year ago.
Oh wow, okay.
So I mean, I know Shy Kevin hears this. He would understand where I'm coming from. So he knew that we could grow more without him, and I think deep down inside that was one of the reasons why he left. To be honest with you,
it's much more. It's easier when it's just two people instead of three people,
right?
Because it's only it's only you and the other person.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
only us two.
The main thing, the thing is that the group wasn't really meshing together, because I wanted to keep progressing and making better beats, and Nate wanted to be a better MC. He wanted to try new styles. He wanted to try new things. He wanted to be experimental, and Shy Kevin just never got any better. And it might
try, or
I don't know if it might have had to do with the situation he was living in. He was going through a couple things, so that's why I never really like took it to heart. But I haven't talked to him since he quit, because I took it to heart. I haven't talked to him, to be honest with you. But there's reasons why he wasn't into the music like we were, and that's understandable. And that's why he ultimately left making music with us, is because he was going through things that weren't allowing him to be happy. So he wasn't making the music that me and Nate were making, because me and Nate were happy. We were happy about life. We were making music, and he was in this depressed state. So that's why it didn't really work out.
So what's the first song that you made once he left and it was just you two?
We made an album. Me and Nate made an EP called Past That, and I think the first song is called Past That, and it's like a 4-minute track, and it's really good. It's a good song.
Yeah. So how do you feel now? It's just being just you two.
It's good. Me and Nate work really well together. But we brought in this other guy named Tony to make music with us, and he kind of like gave us another boost, kind of like how Nate did in how we approach music now. We have like a different point of view. It's just good to have. It's just refreshing to have different people, especially people that are really good, or people that really care about the craft, like not just rhyming the last word with
How did you find Why Not? Or how did he find you?
I think Nate found him. I'm not sure how, to be honest. But Nate told me about him through text, and he was like, "Yeah, this guy, he's super good. You won't like. He has his song to an MF Doom beat, and he rhymes just like MF Doom, like he did it on purpose. Type of thing, like a tribute to him, or like he has like he just told me he has a bunch of songs and he was really good. And when Nate tells me that, I believe him, because there's a lot of rappers that are trying to make music with us that are not any good." Mm-hmm. So when he tells me like this guy's really good, like we should make music with him, I believed him. And like the first day he came over, like he's a really shy guy. Tony's really shy, but when it comes to like rapping, he's not that shy when it comes to being in the studio. And he really showed me his skill, and he was really good. And we haven't stopped making music with him ever since. So.
Early mornings I wake up in such distress. Pick up a 40 while still wearing my regrets. My head is heavy, every day I feel the stress. Things get annoying, I swear I'ma snap my neck. I'm on the verge of falling straight into debt for taking out some loans so I can go and pay respect. My homie's gone and I'm feeling like I'm next, but it ain't no biggie when you're chasing after death. Colossal mess, popping X in this quadrant, staying vexed when my problems all the sets isn't solving. Invested in all the stress, the feds keep on knocking, but my quest ain't to rest where the rest of them falling. I need a job, but hustling's in my jeans. My father used to steal radios to get his cheese. I wanna do better, but these schools ain't for me. I got two options, rapping and slinging trees. Jeez. Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out. Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out. I ain't sober yet, behavior ain't appropriate. Amazing how this broken mess can live in decomposing flesh. Frozen from the coldest steps I've taken low as ocean depths. Seeing through a broken lenses only show me hopelessness. Motionless, only coining phrases when I'm choking this. Making money, hustling, but still remaining broke as shit. All these fucking drugs make it way too hard for focusing. For me to even think about these people throwing sodium, I don't notice them. Every day's a battle, trying to move against the current in this race without a paddle. I couldn't hold my horses, now I'm sitting by the saddle, wondering when I'm gonna get a grip, cause life is hard to handle. Can't have a fragile mind state with a rising crime rate. Heard a couple shots, now the cops are headed my way. They say it takes time, but how long does time take? Cause I took one of those shots straight to my face. Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out. Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out.
Late nights thinking of my dreams, stay scheming. Fate's light, keep away from fiends, slay demons. Growing up, I was always told this. Focus, but life always cursed me like hocus pocus. Tossing and turning, my stomach burning. Thirsty for the poison, I'm spending what I ain't earning. With no role models, I'm choking on broken bottles. My father worships liquor stores, and I just couldn't bother. And if all my life is living dirt poor, should I keep on living the fire away where it hurts most? Slow torture or quick pain, I'm insane, sick brain. Need some medications for my sins, man. Nah, force myself to keep it clean. I didn't wanna follow in shoes of family jeans. My pop selling rocks on the block, running from the cops. Now I'm skipping Rolling Stones in the fucking park. After Dr. Gooley sprayed, I fell in the well and I'm wishing it all away. My papers show the pressure of soulless soliloquy. And no to all my woes, I'm just painting the enemy still. Keep the fake mask on at all times. I'm hoping that my love doesn't see that I'm so blind. My vision a mirage, an illusion that's getting harder to see myself in no health, so I'm reaching a little farther. My psyche slowly slipping, tears of agony start dripping. If my father copes with holy grails, then how come I ain't sipping? Broken home, all alone, growing up, I had no friends. I had to keep it moving to the music with a tragic end.
Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out. Still struggling, trying to find a way out. Life's a game, I'm just seeing how it plays out. Paper planes make it easier to space out. No more haze, I just wanna plan my days out.
We're working on an album right now with him. Every song's featuring him.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a really talented guy. He's different than Nate, like way different. Like
That's good. It's a good contrast, I guess.
And I think
good balance.
I think we're gonna work on solo stuff, and me and Nate are gonna work on solo stuff, or he might just join Socialeyes. We're not really sure.
it's you're still up in the air with the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's cool though. It's it shouldn't be rushed. You gotta really think about it.
Yeah,
you gotta make sure everybody who's in the group is gonna stay in the group, or vice versa, whatever. You get it.
Yeah. So now the state of the music we're in is really good because
what level are you in right now?
The way that we make music now, I think, is that they both challenge each other because they're both good in their own right. Like Nate has a different style, Tony has a different style, but they always like challenge each other. They tell each other what they don't like. They tell each other what they do like. So we're always getting better. And I'm sitting here as a producer, not just like as a beat maker, but as a producer saying like this would sound better. You know, so we're really working together. It's not like I'm just making a beat and I send it to him or send it to them and then they write. Like we're literally in the studio, and I don't even put beats up anymore for them to write to. Like I only like them to write in the studio, because then we have like a
organic feel.
Yeah, but it's also like we all agree on what everybody's saying, because I wouldn't want Nate to necessarily say something that I wouldn't approve. But Nate, I mean, he never has, but I like to put my input. I like to feel like I'm part of the music more, not just like the beat maker. Because
you're the producer.
Yeah, I like to be seen as a producer, because I'm sitting here and I'm like analyzing everything, kind of as a listener also. So when I hear the rhymes and I tell them, hey, this rhyme isn't good, most of the time they listen, because you know I'm trying to make it better. I'm not just, you know, nitpicking or being like, oh, that line's whack. It's literally just to make our music better. So right now we have a really good chemistry, and we're really honest. Like if something's bothering us, we tell each other. You know, if Nate writes a whack line, I'll be like, that shit's whack. If I have a whack beat, he'll be like, that shit's whack. So we just challenge each other constantly to be better, because we don't want to stay in the same place like for a year, because we have done that where we didn't progress for an entire year. So now we just keep trying to challenge each other, and when it comes to beats, you know, making beats is a lot easier than writing a song. So that's another reason why I like to be part in the songwriting process, because I feel like I have good insight on music. I can't write music, but I listen to a shit ton of music, so I feel like I know what sounds good and what doesn't.
There's pretty much no point in being rushed on a project or anything like that, especially you having everything at your disposal. I mean, you have the fucking mic right here, you have all the stuff to make the beats right here. Like, you have pretty much everything. All they got to do is come through and then just write to whatever it is you're making. And
right.
You really can't, you know.
Even though
you got everything right here.
Even though that's true, we always feel a sense of urgency to finish projects. And I don't know if that's I feel like it is a bad thing. But as you can see on this whiteboard, it says that our deadline is April 5th for the album, and we're not
well over April 5th.
Yeah, and before that it said May something. So
I'm saying June.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency, but we're not rushing.
You got to give yourself time, breathing room, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if not, then it's just, you know, you're always gonna think of that date, like, oh fuck, that date's coming.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we took off the deadline, is because it made us think in that way, and then we're working on songs where we ultimately didn't even like anymore. So now if we don't like a song, we scrap it, and we will replace it with something else.
Yeah, I think the goal should be like no filler tracks.
Yeah.
I think the goal would be to have a press play album.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what we're going for.
No filler tracks, no filler beats, no filler. You know, just all of them are like pure. All of them are dope, and all of them, you know, you get it.
Yeah, and especially because every time we make a new song, we get better. So,
yeah,
it kind of fucks with us, because we made these songs, and at the time we're like, oh, they're dope, and now we're like, damn, they're not as good as they once were, or you know, they're not gonna sound good on the album because we sound better now. So it's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to finish an album when you're constantly trying to get better, because every song, technically, you want it to be better than the last.
Yeah.
So there's songs that we probably scrapped, like, I would say like 7 songs at this point. Just because of that, because it doesn't make sense in our catalog anymore. It's not who we are anymore. It's not like the beats don't sound the same. Like I have new equipment and stuff and new sounds that, you know, took my shit to a whole nother level.
Yeah, dude, you got a lot of records. You got a lot of fucking stuff. I like it. It's like it's like a museum when I come in. I'm like, damn, you have a lot of cool shit.
That's what I like.
You're a cool dude, man. You got a lot of cool shit.
I try to.
You have a lot of cool stuff. Some of the stuff that you have, I also kind of have. So it'd be kind of a trip for you to walk into my room and you're like, oh shit.
You have pop figures?
I have a few, yeah. I don't have like as much as you do because you have like a lot, but I have a few.
They're mostly my girlfriend's. I'm more proud of my record collection.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even fucking looked through. I don't even want to actually, because there's like a lot. I'll just be stuck here for a fucking hour.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like living 2-story house because I'm scared of the weight being in the second story. And
You'll
it'll be fine. But I have like close to 700 records up here.
Oh shit, Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah,
It's. I'm sure you could get more. I'm sure you'll get more.
No, I'm planning to move out soon. So
Yeah, your style, your clothing style. You know. I know you're just being you, but it looks fucking. You look tight.
Thanks, man.
You look fucking. You guys have created. You created, and you guys both created like something. Like
You know what? That was
your own
actually
lane.
that was actually a conscious thing. Is that I wanted to look a certain way. So I made that conscious decision to not shop at the mall, because if I go to, or even Target, if I go to Target, buy a shirt.
You go to thrift stores, or what do you do?
Yeah, I go to thrift stores. Like most of my clothes is either from eBay or thrift stores.
Yeah, I don't.
Or they're from like people I know, or they're small companies, or they're custom made, or they're vintage shit. Because there's been countless amount of times where I go out and like this guy's wearing this exact same shorts as me.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're the same color. It's like the same pattern. Like they have palm trees on them and they're identical. Or like the same flannel or whatever. And now I just try to look different. I mean, I know everybody does, but yeah, I try to develop my own style.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I have a wardrobe over here in the studio.
Again, same thing. I feel it's just alternate universe, because you also fucking do photography, and you also do all this stuff with like Spider-Man over there and shit. The pops.
You saw the I don't know if you're a fan of Seinfeld, but there's the Kramer,
hell yeah, I am.
The Kramer painting right there.
Oh my god, you do have it! Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that sucks that you have the backpack over it, but still.
Yeah, I know. I've been meaning to move that.
That looks so fucking. How'd you learn DJing? I know that's pretty. It's a difficult type of thing, and it's so weird when you start DJing, because when you ask other DJs, they're like, "Oh, I don't really want to teach you" or whatever. So how did you learn? Did you just?
I learned almost every skill that I have from YouTube.
Really?
Yes.
It was just like a tutorial or something, or what?
So being into computer science and information technology, I was in college. I mean, most people don't know this, but I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. And
they'll fix your computer, hit them up.
Yeah. So being in that field, professors will literally tell you you're never going to remember everything. Use the internet. Most of my professors told me use the internet. Right. So now,
holy fuck! If there's Carnage, that's awesome.
The pop, yeah, it's pretty rare.
That's super dope. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so they told me that to not be afraid to use the internet for help, because everything's on there. So when I was 16 and I was trying to learn how to mix, I would go on YouTube, how to mix, how to BPM match, how to sample, literally everything, how to fix this computer, how to remove this LCD. People would tell me, "Can you fix my laptop?" And I'd never seen their laptop before, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I can fix it," and I would fix it because of YouTube, and I would make money, and that's how it started. That's like kind of how that started.
The school of YouTube.
Yep. So
that's how you learn. Oh shit.
And the reason why I have a degree is because I know music isn't 100%, and I wanted to be smart about it. I didn't want to, focus all my energy and passion on music, and then it leads me in, with no money.
You gotta have a backup. You got a little safety net.
So my backup is my degree, and I have a nice job. I mean, I still get a better job, but I'm happy. Making good money. And yeah, hit me up if you need me to fix your computer.
Yeah, that's why I came. You fix this one.
Yeah, this was just a spontaneous thing. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come over to fix. Can you fix my computer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Oh, also, I'm gonna record you for an hour." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I was thinking about it before, and I was like, I should have asked him. And then I was like, they'll be fine.
It was good, because if you would have asked me, I would have been kind of stressing on it. I'm glad it was spontaneous.
Why are you vegan?
Why am I vegan?
Yeah,
Damn.
that came up. It's one of those things where
Okay, so
just curious.
When I was in high school, I was into punk still, and one of the things that is talked about in punk music is animal cruelty. And I I became aware at an early age. I think I was like 14. I became aware of animal abuse, and by the masses. I learned quickly that animals are technically enslaved, like a whole species of animals. If you think about it, there isn't a free chicken out there. There isn't a free cow that lives free. So we have multiple species entirely enslaved, which is totally fucked up, and it's it's really ruining our planet. But I mean, we're way past that point, and that's not the reason why I'm vegan. It's not for an environmental reason, because there's no way I could save the world. But I was vegan. I mean, I was vegetarian for 3 years in high school, and my younger brother went vegetarian with me for 3 years, and it was, I was overweight at the time. I was like,
while being vegetarian?
No. Before that,
Oh,
I was really overweight. I mean, I'm not the type to do exercise. I've never had a gym membership. I would, never run a mile for you. But I went vegetarian, and I got really healthy. I lost a lot of weight, and people started paying attention to me. Whatever, got more attention from girls and stuff. And then I kind of I went away from it. I don't know what happened. Oh, you know what? My mom went out of the country, and it was just me and my sister, and we kind of ran out of money. I was like 17, and my sister was 18, and she was working like 12 hours a week at Wendy's, and my mom somehow got stuck in El Salvador. It's too much of a story to tell, but she lost some documents and like her passport and stuff, and she had to go through this whole process to get back into the U.S. Whatever. So we were out of money, and it was
How
like
long did that take?
It took her like an extra 2 months. She was supposed to be there for a month and a half, and I think she was there for 3.5 months.
Oh shit!
And she was there with my little brother, and my brother was depressed. It was
scary.
terrible. Yeah,
That's
it was terrible.
Scary.
And so it was just me and my sister living here, and she bought me my couple school supplies because it was time to go back to school, and there's no food, and it wasn't time for me to be picky, and she made chicken, and I had to eat it. So that's how I reverted from being a vegetarian back to just eating meat.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I always thought about it. I always wanted to go vegetarian or vegan. I always knew that was the ideal way to live. Is to to not harm any human being or any animal, just so I could live totally in peace. And I knew that vegetarian, you still hurt animals. You cows get, I don't know if you know the process of cows getting milk, but they technically get raped by a robot that inseminates them, and then they create milk, and they have a baby, and then the baby gets ripped from them, and the cow still stays there, and it's just pumping out milk. So vegan is a true way to be, a real peaceful human being without harming anybody. And I've always had to stop, but I met my girlfriend 3 years ago, and she's been vegan for 5 years. So she
That's good when you have someone next,
yeah, she really helped me. But the thing is that she was with me for an entire year, and I wasn't vegan, and that really it bothered her, but she stuck through it. And then one day, I was washing the dishes, no joke, and it was right after lunch, and I realized, my breakfast was vegan, my lunch was vegan, and I was like, hey babe, I'm going vegan today. And then that was 2 years ago, over 2 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah. That was cold turkey.
Yep.
It was just switch.
Well, it wasn't. I wouldn't say cold turkey, because a lot of my meals were already vegan because of my girlfriend. We would go to vegan restaurants.
You slowly transitioned,
right? So I was one of the things.
But you made that decision just very quickly, like yeah, for sure.
The thing is that people don't know what vegans can eat. Like, people always ask me, what can you eat? And I can literally eat whatever a non-vegan eats. Like, I'll eat a burrito. It just doesn't have meat or cheese or sour cream. It has guacamole, and it has vegetables. It has beans and rice. I could eat a veggie taco. I could eat, scrambled tofu and soy riso. It's really easy to be vegan once you open your mind to it. You don't have to eat meat, and it's not good for you. It's really not. If you do your research, it's not. And one of the main reasons why I went vegan is because my dad has to go to dialysis every other day. And one of the main reasons is because he ate a lot of red meat. And I don't ever want to be, like, he can't leave the city he's in because he has to go to dialysis the next day. So that's really shitty. And that's one of the reasons why I'm vegan, too, because I don't want to be unhealthy. And I don't exercise. I mean, I recently picked up a bike, and I started biking around the city with my girlfriend.
What kind of bike?
An Ashiki. It's a really nice bike.
Okay.
Nice. And I started biking, and that's like my form of exercise. But I would never go to the gym. I can't see myself doing that. Like, I don't care about how I look as much as how I feel. So I feel good every day. I feel full of energy. By just being vegan. So I think if I wasn't vegan, I would definitely have to exercise somewhat. But I don't. I almost don't exercise at all. Mm-hmm. Which is good. And I'm pretty healthy and I've gone to the doctor. The doctor tells me I'm like A1.
You're good? Oh, yeah. Good. Great. It's kind of tough to do with the whole being vegan and like not getting enough things
Yeah.
you need to put in your body or
I
whatever.
eat a whole lot of frijoles, so that's protein.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mostly my diet. Is just a lot of beans in different forms, like chili beans, frijoles in a burrito. You know, it's just like beans are they're one of my favorite food since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Platanitos fritos with frijoles. That's like one of my favorite breakfasts.
What kind of mic do you have?
I have an AKG. I don't know. Fuck, I can't remember the name. It's kind of high end. AKG C214. It's not that high end, but it's like a It's like a mid level mic. It's getting hot in here.
Is it in there?
Kitchen. Yeah, it is. You can take it out. We just got it. We got it like 2 months ago. No, like 3 months ago. And then we picked up this machine too. This was another studio upgrade that we got.
Oh, that is nice.
This is my favorite thing right here. Watch.
Oh, that is fucking nice.
Yeah, this was about like 900.
Oh,
but I'm not paying it out by myself. I have my friends in the group to help me pay
that's
for
great.
this.
Yeah, no, it's fucking perfect then. Do you remember the first time that you were just like the first artist that you were like, I want to perform. I want to be just, I want to perform just like that dude. You know when that switch turned on?
Okay. As like a being like DJing for a group?
Yeah.
Or as in like being or as in like I want my group to perform like them. You know what I mean? Is it me be the DJ or the group?
The second one.
Okay, so how I would want my group to perform? The first time I saw people on the stairs was the greatest time I saw them.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Because they were DJing and scratching real records. They had a drum machine. They were making beats on stage. And this one was breakdancing.
Yeah.
And that was just mind-blowing. It's like the only thing they needed up there, they were beatboxing too. All they needed was some graffiti, and it would have been all the hip-hop elements up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
It was so crazy.
Fuck, that's true.
And they're super hype. I think he spills a beer on himself every time he performs.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's fun. So they're the ideal people, the ideal group.
I think so. As in hip hop, yeah. But if it's more realistic because of the people that I make music with, I would say Evidence because he has excellent crowd control, like just insane.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So and the people that I make music with, Nate and Tony, especially Tony, they're not very hyper people. They don't jump around. And like neither is Evidence. He's kind of like laid back, and he just uses his hand to conduct the crowd, and it's captivating. And that's another person. That's like the more realistic person that I would want our group to look like when we perform.
If you could work with anybody, producer to rapper, I guess.
I would want at this point to rap over my beats Your Old Droog. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he's like this New York cat, and he got some recognition because people thought it was Nas's alter ego. He kind of sounds like Nas, but he's this Ukrainian guy from Brooklyn, and he's really good at rhyming, and he picks really funky beats, and I think he would sound nice over one of my beats. Your Old Droog, you guys should check him out.
Oh shit! All right, I guess I'll do that. How do you spell it?
Your Your, old, OLD, Droog, DROOG.
Shit.
And he sounds like Nas sometimes.
Oh, does he? Fuck.
Yeah.
So are you really into the DJing or
No.
Oh, you just do you know how to scratch and shit?
I know how to scratch a little bit. Like if there's scratching on any of our songs, I did it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're good. You're fine. You're good enough to do it then. Do you ever think you'll stop this making music?
Dude, that's why I like that song "Fear" so much. Is because he says, "I fear losing creativity," and that's one of my greatest fears.
Really?
Is just losing the motivation to create.
I think you need those how you describe Nate, and then how you describe why not?
Yeah,
like those bursts of like, oh, I am fucking doing the right thing.
So I have to treat my MCs like they're disposable, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. you need those sudden rushes, those sudden bursts. Like, oh yeah.
Hey, I'm tired of you, Nate. I need someone new in my life.
I'm making good music. I do need to make more good music.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say before we finish this up?
Follow me on Instagram, DiscoveryKid_. If you want to see if you want to have thought control over what I think, follow me on Twitter. I post most of my thoughts there.
Follow your group.
Yeah, Socialeyes Duo. So the word social is in the word eyes, like the ones you see with Duo. Both of them on Instagram and Twitter. We have a new album coming out soon.
Real soon.
Muzz is we're going to be working on a new video for us.
April 3rd? 8th? No, that's fucking weird. You know.
And yeah, thanks for listening. If you're a fan of me, I'm really happy. I'm a fan of you.
Nah, dude, you're fucking amazing. I'm really happy that we got to chat this whole thing up because you're a good dude. You're a nice dude.
Thanks, man.
Everything about your room is amazing.
And I fix your computer for free.
Your style is fucking dope. You make dope ass beats. It's just one of those alternate universe type of things where
I know what you mean.
We were
like I met you and I'm like,
there.
Damn, that guy's like me. I'm impressed. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that impress me.
That's awesome. I like that.
That guy's a lot like me.
That's what I aim
He impresses
to do.
me.
Is that why you do Tone One? Is that why you put the 1?
I don't know why I put the 1. I think it's because there's a short way to spell tone. You just put a T in the 1, so it spells out tone. And I think that's why I put the 1. I'm not sure. I was a kid.
T1, Tone One, T1, Tone One, T1, Tone One. All right, for the thousands listening, for the hundreds listening, for the tens listening, for the one person listening, this has been Pretty Fresh with Tone One.
Is it clear? Is it clear? Where do we go from here? Sometimes I want to disappear. Is it clear? Is it clear? Where do we go from here? Sometimes I want to disappear. Is it clear? Is it clear? Where do we go from here? Sometimes I want to disappear. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Daydreaming of a life of fame, a nice exchange of ice for the price of pain. I want more money and I want more change. A day more sunny and a night more sane. But I had to deal alone with my own thoughts. Never spoke a lot, I was dreaming in my own box. So lost, had a fake control. But now I'm back, got a hold, you can't take my soul. Cause I know my time is short, but I feel I can't deal no more. What is there left for me to show? I've been feeling high and low, trying to reach my goal.
And I know some things will come and go. This life gets stressful, that's for sure. It goes 1 for the money, 2 for my bros, 3 for the trees, and 1 for the soul. I know some things will come and go. This life gets stressful, that's for sure. It goes 1 for the money, 2 for my bros, 3 for the trees, and 1 for the soul.
New year, new me, and new actions. No longer staring at the ceiling or relaxing. There's things I've been asking for. I don't always want to end up on my bathroom floor. I've been back and forth. I'm used to being wasted. Looking for the bottle, guess I like how trouble's tasting. Inhale, exhale, it's so basic. Why do I give innocent? I'm losing mental patience. Why won't somebody check me out? It's hard enough dealing with all these feelings by myself. And it's been difficult as hell, but maybe just a blessing in disguise. Cause now I know some things will come and go. This life gets stressful, that's for sure. It goes 1 for the money, 2 for my bros, 3 for the trees, and 1 for the soul. I know some things will come and go. This life gets stressful, that's for sure. It goes 1 for the money, 2 for my bros, 3 for the trees, and 1 for the soul. I know, yeah, and I know, and I know, and I know.
Sometimes I want to disappear. Is it clear? Is it clear? Where do we go from here? Sometimes I want to disappear. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Tone One from Socialeyes, and that was pretty fresh.